Brandon, and not only do we have a great day, but we have an entire week of celebrating what's going to come up next at the Okinawan Festival. That's right, get your tickets right now. We also have the Honolulu Med Spa. We're going to talk about hormone replacement therapy, why it's important for all of us as we age, glow from the inside out. And also we have the Shiler School of Business and how they're embracing sustainability within the tourism industry. But right now, Kainova, we're going to toss it out to you over there at Salt and Kaka'ako with our friends from Revolution. How's it shining?
How's it, Natalie? Mahalo. Thank you very much. You know, as we continue to have these conversations talking about a brighter, more sustainable Hawaii, Revolution has been a company that's actually been around for 16 years now, helping hundreds of local businesses and thousands of local families. Very excited to be sitting down with Eric Carlson. Welcome in, bro.
Kaina, how are you?
Good to see you again. And you know, Eric, there's been so much conversation recently about kind of what's taking place with the whole solar industry. But first, let's talk about Revolution. Earlier in July, we celebrated 16 years of this business you guys put together.
Yeah, 16 years, founded in 2009. We're a locally owned and operated company. Like you mentioned, we have actually over 10,000 residential solar companies and hundreds of commercial solar projects of like some of the most well-known, trusted, iconic brands in Hawaii. We're honored to have gone with us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to that, obviously sustainability is something we talk about all the time here in Hawaii, especially with where the state as a whole is heading. Now, in addition to the solar projects you guys take on, this is really a full circle energy company with what you guys are able to provide.
Yeah, something we learned over 16 years in the business and some of the twists and turns throughout the business is that, you know, it's because we're in your home, there's a lot of other services that we can offer. And so over the years, we've grown out our solar hot water division, our HVAC division, and our roofing division. So much more than just a solar company, really like you say, a home services company, your one-stop shop for any type of home improvement or sustainable products you're trying to do for your home.
Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, you know, we were talking a little while ago as well. You guys are constantly kind of looking for ways to just do things more efficiently, do things better as a company as well, because oftentimes, even with the investment that's as significant as solar, we've been talking as well about the companies who do it, oftentimes they aren't around after some of these projects get taken on, which Revolution helps to avoid that gap.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about, you know, continuing to deliver value, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're installing, you know, people are entrusting us for what could be the second largest investment they're gonna make in their home. And, you know, you wanna make sure that you're providing quality customer care and service. And we believe that your interaction with our clients, you know, it's a relationship. These systems are designed to last for decades. You know, we're 16 years in the business, and we're a partner. Like, we are your solar energy partner. If you need your panel cleaned, if you want to add to your system, batteries came along halfway through our journey. And so the solar system, you know, before when we're just installing solar systems, now we're adding batteries to those, or electric vehicle charging systems.
We're seeing more and more of those as well.
Yeah, they're everywhere. In fact, we do about 2 batteries for every installation. So yeah, you know, we're adapting and learning and continue to try to provide value for our customer. Mm-hmm. And as a result, we have a very diverse group of offerings. We're not just a solar company, we're one of the largest residential HVAC companies in Hawaii as well that most people don't know that much about. We're known for solar, but yeah, we do a lot more.
Now, in addition to that as well, what do you think makes the work, and you've touched on many things throughout this past couple of minutes, but what makes Revolution so different and unique, just kind of compared to what's out there when people are considering an investment like solar?
Yeah, you know, obviously it's the people that we work with, right? You know, every single individual in our team plays an important role. But what's unique for us is our longevity. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not a lot of companies have been around as long as we have. One thing that we came up in a meeting that one of our people said is that we do quality work at scale. That, you know, this is really complicated.
Which is like incredibly tough.
Yeah.
Very tough jobs at scale, yeah.
So just one system is complicated, but because we have such a robust team, we have individuals that have been with us for 16 years. I mean, so, you know, it's a strong team, but we can take that specific touch point that you need for every job, but we can do it at scale. And so hence the 10,000 plus customers.
Absolutely, and people who are continuing, if they have issues, continue to seek Revolution out. Now, stay with us on High Now Daily. Eric and I are going to be hanging out all show. A lot of conversations are taking place with solar. There's federal tax incentives. We're going to touch on all that in just a bit. Natalie, we'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Kainoa. The 43rd Okinawan Festival is back, celebrating culture, food, and community while marking 125 years of Okinawan immigration to Hawaii. And joining us today is Lynn Miyahira, the former president of HUOA. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been wonderful.
So 125 years of immigration, let's talk about that. Such an impactful length of time.
So 1900 was when the first Okinawan immigrants came to Hawaii. It's a little bit later than the Japanese who came a little bit before us, right? And so my family is actually, I'm fourth generation.
Oh, okay.
So we actually have 5 generations in our family that's been here in Hawaii now too, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You have family scattered amongst the islands too also?
Scattered, yeah, mostly here on Oahu, but you know, we definitely have a lot, like many Okinawan families. There are 4, 5, 6 generations, you know, that have been here in Hawaii. And so we wanted to celebrate that culture and that, cultural experience here in Hawaii as part of the multi-ethnic fabric that makes up Hawaii.
Right, and we're gonna see thousands of people coming to the festival this weekend. But also too, I wanna talk about HUOA as an organization. There's over 500 or 50, was it 50 clubs? Sorry, oh my God, the line. 50 clubs within the island, right? So what does that mean?
Correct, so the Hawaii United Okinawa Association is an umbrella organization that has about 50 different clubs.
Wow.
That are members, and of these clubs, each club has anywhere from 50 members to a couple hundred, 400 members, and each club, the original clubs were based on towns and villages in Okinawa where our Issei came from, or so where the first generation came from. But it's eventually grown to be more Hawaii locality based. So Maui, Okinawa, Kenjinkai, right? Hilo has Hui Okinawa. We have Kona, Kohala, Kauai, and then even on Oahu, like Wahewa, made their own club. So it's and then they have what I call interest groups. So groups that are more based, like our Huio Laulima club is a women's club. It started as a women's club. So, there's a lot of different clubs, a lot of different interests, and it's multi-generational.
That's so awesome.
That is who makes up the Hawaii United Okinawa Association.
And you guys have not only the festival that's happening this weekend, but it seems like throughout the year, there's different events the organization comes together, because it's great to kind of bring together family, right?
Correct. So the Okinawan Festival is definitely our largest event of the year, but we have many other events throughout the year, some of it including our Children's Day Camp. We have a Hawaii High School Okinawa Student Exchange Program that's been going on, that I was actually a participant in back in the 90s.
Oh, cool.
And we have a lot of cultural programming. Our home is at the Hawaii Okinawa Center in Waipio Gentry. And so, we do a lot of different events throughout the year, but this is definitely, the Okinawan Festival is definitely our signature event.
And it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, right?
Yeah.
But, the 43rd annual, but I want to go back to the humble beginnings of the first one. What was that like?
So my understanding is that, actually it started with what was called a cultural jubilee back in the 70s, actually, with our Huio Laulima group. They did a big festival. But the first Okinawan Festival was at McCoy Pavilion in 1982.
Oh, okay.
And, it was there for a few years. And then we switched to Thomas Square in the mid-'80s. And then we moved in 1990, which was the big 90th celebration of Okinawan immigration to Hawaii. We moved to Kapiolani Park, and it was there for many years. Yeah.
There's some of those activities seen there right on the screen too, right?
I actually remember when it was at Thomas Square and Kapiolani Park. I have a lot of great memories growing up at Kapiolani Park. So, we're excited. In 2018, we brought the festival to the Hawaii Convention Center, and we've been there ever since. So this is really, you can see the progression and how our community has grown together with the festival.
That's amazing, kind of through history and also upbringing the future generations. We're seeing just awesome clips throughout the year too, but historically too, there's even former President Bill Clinton that come and supported.
He came in don't quote me on this, 95, I think.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, we're really excited. We're hoping to have a special guest too for our finale on Sunday to come for the special finale performance on Sunday. So keep an eye out on our social media channels. We'll be announcing that soon, and we're hoping that everyone joins us at the Convention Center this weekend, August 30th and 31st.
That's right.
For the Okinawan Festival.
Okay, so where can people grab tickets? Because this sounds like a fun event.
Yeah, you can go buy your tickets online at okinawanfestival.com. We definitely, encourage people to buy early. There are packages if you want to buy a 2-day package for both Saturday and Sunday. We also have early entry. So if you want to pay a little bit extra to get in at 9 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock,
okay.
That's also only online.
That's right, because there's going to be so much food, shopping, and cultural
Lots
events.
of shopping. I'm really excited for you guys to see.
I love it.
We have a lot of books, a lot of education, a lot of culture that's going to be available, but it's just a fun time to celebrate all things Okinawan.
That's right, and we're just starting here. Thank you so much, Lynn, for coming in. We have so much more to cover on the Okinawan Festival, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be covering so much more right after this. You're watching Hi Now Daily.
How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to Hi Now Daily. We're back here live at Revolution Smart Home, hanging out with Eric Carlson. And there's so much conversation right now happening in the solar industry. What's all the buzz about, Eric?
Yeah, so probably everywhere you go, you're hearing someone talking about, can you refer me to a solar guy? And the reason is that the federal tax credit is going away. It's going from 30% to 0 at the end of the year. So we're seeing a mass rush of people trying to get in there before that tax credit goes away.
Mm-hmm. But one of the interesting conversations Eric and I have been having was that you don't necessarily need to be doing that right now, right? Like, what do you recommend for people to do? Obviously, that's out there. That 30% federal tax credit goes away, but what should people be thinking about before they make that investment?
Yeah, we kind of have a different take, and I think that goes back to that longevity piece that I was speaking to, 16 years in the business. This tax credit we faced a lot of bumps along what we call the solar coaster in our industry because we do rely on tax credits or different policies with Hawaiian Electric. And this one kind of reminds me, going all the way back to 2014, 2015, there was a boom. It was called net metering. And when we opened our doors, there was about 12 solar companies that were doing all the work, and it really took off. And at the time, right up to the end of net metering, there was about 300 solar companies in Hawaii. Net metering went away. And with that, we went from 300 solar companies to about 40 solar companies.
Wow.
So massive drop off.
Drastic.
Yeah, so out of business, right? Completely out of business. And we had a lot of people scrambling, just like today, to get in, to get that net metering. And unfortunately, they did get their net metering, but the company that they went with went out of business. And so they have no one to call for service, a whole wide range of issues. It makes it really challenging for homeowners who've invested $10, $20, $30, $40,000 on a solar system, and the company closes their doors. And so for us, this moment in time reminds me back to almost 10 years now. And we're telling people, again, this is a relationship, and don't want to get too fixated on the tax credit today, and more you should be focused on who you're doing business with and will they be around. Do they have the diversification to withstand some of these policy changes?
Which then does beg the question, say people are in the rush to get the job done before the end of 2025, heaven forbid something happens, that solar company goes under in the following year, what options do people have then?
Well, we service a lot of those customers, and we have for the past 10 years. We have a Hanai program where we didn't install your original system, but come on in, your family, and we take care of your system, get you up and running.
It's got to be so helpful too, because again, with a big investment like this, people are scrambling.
And so our schedule, we're closed for the year, and we have been for quite a while. And most, I think, reputable solar companies are also. And people may be going down the list of, I can't go with them, I can't go with them. Who can I get to get that tax credit? And I would just suggest a little bit of pause. Solar isn't going away next year. There's a lot of reasons why you should go solar next year. So I really think people should focus more about who they're going with than the tax credit. I get it, the tax credit is a good nugget, but you could easily spend that money that you got in tax credits trying to fix your system later with another contractor who doesn't owe you a warranty because the original company you went with went out of business. So now you got to pay someone to come and fix your system. And so I could see the 30% federal tax credit going away really fast.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that shouldn't be the main reason that people are
so.
choosing to make this
Not at
investment
all.
right now.
I would not. Experience has shown over past 16 years, and it wasn't just net metering. There was a number of policy shifts that we've seen where we've seen the market contract, and homeowners time and time again have been left without their original installer.
Right, and throughout this 16 years as well, Revolution, you've been able to kind of navigate all of the shifts that have come around, especially with these big time policy changes.
Yeah, we're well positioned. Our team, you got to be pretty diligent, resilient, I should say, to be in the solar industry. If you're in it for a buck, like a lot of the guys were back in the net metering days, they made a bunch of money and they left when net metering went away because it got much more complicated. We're in it because we believe in our mission of leaving a better place for future generations. We're a company that's raised on the values of the island. So we love this place. We love protecting it. We want to leave it cleaner for future generations. We're a member of this community. So we're in it for forever.
That's what people want to hear.
Yeah. So when times are good and when times are challenging, we're in it because we really care. And we set ourselves up to be well diversified, so this won't have much of an impact on us as a company. The industry, yes, but we're so well diversified with our other products and services that we're feeling really optimistic about 2020.
About the future. Eric, thank you so much again. Very important conversations that we're having over here at Revolution Smart Home. Stay with us. We're going to head to break. We got much more coming up on High Now Daily.
Aloha. Welcome back to Hi Now Daily. In today's Well and Worth It segment, we have the Honolulu Med Spa here in the studio. We're talking story on how balancing your hormones can transform your life, what HRT is, how it works, and the real life benefits people are experiencing. And joining us is their medical director, Dr. Scott Sanderson. Thanks for coming in. We're usually used to coming into your spa, but now you're coming in with us because we have to talk about some important stuff. So HRT, hormone replacement therapy. Let's talk about that.
Well, HRT, I mean, it is what it sounds like. We're replacing hormones. So we're not changing hormones. We're not doing something different with hormones. Basically trying to give people back the hormones that they had, usually when they were younger.
Right.
And it's really not a question of if, but when people are going to have changes with their hormones.
Right.
It oftentimes starts in their 30s, but sometimes even earlier than that. But by the time they're in their 40s and 50s, pretty much everybody is starting to notice some sorts of changes. You know, of course, it varies from person to person. Some people notice it earlier, and some people are more symptomatic than others.
Right.
But it's going to happen with pretty much everyone.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. Okay, but I want to talk about the different types of hormones. So we all have hormones, male or female, just a little bit different, right? So men have testosterone, women have also testosterone and estrogen. So how does that affect us when our bodies kind of stop producing it?
The biggest thing that I see is people just feel like they're slowing down in kind of every way. They're feeling older than they are, you know. So decreased energy levels, they'll have brain fog, they'll have less stamina, just less drive, less desire to just do anything. They'll have more difficulty burning fat, they'll have more difficulty building muscle, they have difficulty recovering from workouts. Particularly women start to really notice changes in their hair, changes in their skin, all sorts of things like that. Not just the classical things that you hear from menopause, like the hot flashes. And of course, those are present, or can be, but there's a lot of other symptoms that go along with it too.
That's so interesting because maybe we try to isolate some of these issues, but really there's an underlying root cause of just not producing enough hormones. So the benefits of HRT, how does that happen? Like when they come there into the spa, what do you expect?
Well, the first thing we start off with is labs. And so we want to get an idea of where their hormones are, and then they fill out a questionnaire. What we're trying to do is sort of match what we're seeing in the labs with what we're seeing in the patient.
Right.
You know, you don't just look at the numbers, you have to consider the patient and what they're experiencing, what they're feeling as well. And then, so every plan is pretty individualized, and each person is going to have a little bit different dosing and a little bit different regimen. You know, there's common themes in it. But you know, for men, it's mostly just the testosterone replacement. But for women, we often do testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone.
Oh wow, all the three. So maybe coming in, if you're having some of these symptoms, come in there to the Honolulu Med Spa.
Yes.
So you take all the diagnosis, get that blood work, and then you guys have a specific kind of, how does it get into your body? Is it ingestible? Is it injectable?
Well,
how is it?
To my knowledge, I don't know of anybody else who's doing this in Hawaii right now,
Oh, wow.
or at least not much, but we are actually doing hormone pellets. So it's a really cool concept. It's a tiny little, like a Tic Tac or a grain of rice, and it dissolves over the course of about 5 to 6 months.
Wow.
And so we put it under the skin with a little tiny incision. You know, we of course numb the skin. People don't feel anything when we do this, okay? And numb the skin, put that little grain of rice underneath there based on what we saw in your labs. There's different doses that we use. And then we'll usually check again in about 4 weeks and see what our levels are looking like and see how you're feeling. And then sometimes we add a little bit more at that point. But then after that, it's kind of just set it and forget it. And you just kind of, over a few weeks, you kind of just notice that you're just feeling better. You know, you just like maybe, whereas you would need a nap after work previously, now you just don't feel, maybe you want to go do stuff now.
Oh, wow.
You know, maybe you just feel better. Maybe you feel like pushing yourself in your workouts more, or you're just feeling stronger, or you notice you're recovering faster.
Literally feeling good from within because it's coming from within,
Exactly.
right?
It's not like you like drank a Red Bull or something like that. You're not like jacked up. You just feel
How you're supposed to be
like,
feeling.
yes, like you used to, you know?
Right.
Yes.
That's really cool. So for more people who want to find more information on if they're a good candidate for it, or maybe that's a solution to what they're feeling, where do they go to find more information?
The website or our social media, or they can give us a call. So any of those, and then we'll set them up with a consultation and labs, and then we'll go from there.
I love it. Thank you, Dr. Sanders. It's always so useful when I see you every time. I'm learning so much. So, you know, having your hormones in check and balance is definitely well and worth it. We'll be right back after this break, but go check all that information more on HonoluluMedSpa.com. Aloha, welcome back to Hi Now Daily. There's so much happening at the 43rd Annual Okinawan Festival happening this weekend. Music, dance, food, and of course, shopping. From handmade crafts to specialty treats straight from Okinawa. And Shari Tamashiro is here with us to tell us all about the goods. And I'm wearing one of them. You gotta tell me about this first piece right here.
This is from Misei Kimono. They're gonna be at the craft gallery. And she takes Okinawan Bingata fabric and fuses it with denim.
Wow, gorgeous. So yeah, let's talk about that. It's a combination of locally made goods, but also you guys imported some goods too, right?
Well, Okinawan Festival is the place to get Okinawan food, Okinawan drinks, and Okinawan products.
Awesome.
And you know, we have the Heiwadori, which actually brings in products from Okinawa.
Oh.
And there are things that you can buy, take home, and cook. But they will have snacks and chilled drinks that you can eat at the festival.
Oh, very cool. I bet it's all those goods, maybe if someone came over to Hawaii from Okinawa and just missed that one treat or maybe from their childhood, this is a perfect time to stockpile up, basically. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to go to Okinawa to get all these goods because we're bringing it to you.
That's what I'm talking about. But let's also talk about these local goods too, because you're pretty much decked out and we have some models that's gonna come in a little bit too, but let's talk about some of these goods that's right here.
So we also have the country store that features food products from local restaurants and food businesses, and most of them are Okinawan owned. So we're gonna have Kilani Bakery from Wahewa, which is I think a third generation Okinawan owned. So you don't have to drive out to Wahewa to get the brownies and their brownie bombs and their turnovers.
Oh my.
And that you can eat right at festival. And we also, from the Iges, we have namasu, pork nishime, we're gonna have maki sushi. And look at these cute cookies that a local artist makes.
Celebrating that 125 years. I love it. But also to eat, you could also rep yourself in the merch. Let's make our way over here to the closet, because not only do you have merch that in collaboration with some of the artists, let's talk about these ones. Look at these. Look how awesome these are.
So one of the best things about festival is that you can wear your Okinawan identity and pride.
That's right.
And so the Okinawa Festival always has new designs every year for our t-shirts. And so they unveil them. So this is part of the andagi series. We also have one that's Chibari-yo, which is do your best, give it your all.
Ooh, and we also have some models that we saw. Lynn, not just too long ago, she did an outfit change. Let's check out these ones too. We have a jersey.
So Lynn is wearing a collaboration between HOA and Information. And it's a special jersey for the 125th and a cap.
Look at that. Ooh, look
Can
at
you
that.
lift your head, Lynn, so you can see the islands on your cap?
Oh, super cool.
So this is going to be for sale in the HOA store, and it's limited edition, so get there fast.
Okay, we have Jess over here too with another t-shirt and bucket hats. Check that Orient bucket hat. I want that right after this.
So the craft gallery features local artists and crafters. So the bucket hat is made by Joy Labrador, and she's gonna be bringing in these Orion beer bucket hats. She's wearing a shirt made by It's About Time that
super
features
cool.
Shisa. So every year they come out with new designs. They also have one that says Uchinanchu, so you can proudly tell people I'm Okinawan or Okinawan at heart.
Represent.
Right.
I
And-
love it. There's going to be so much outfits to choose from, but definitely, Sherry, I want to come back to the table over here with all the goods that you could get here on island if you don't need to go there to Okinawa. Let's talk about some of your favorite pieces over here.
So this is Okinawa soba. It is different from Japanese soba, and this is a nice, it's really funny in Okinawa. Everyone is so opinionated about who makes the best soba.
That's right.
They will get into fights over it. But we also have kombu, and then if you look over there, that's shikwasa juice. Shikwasa is a citrus that you find in Okinawa, similar to calamansi, but different. And then we have Okinawan salt. This one is like a snow salt. Okinawa has tons of different salts that you can use. And, like if you are not really a great cook, they have flavor packs for goya champuru, so bitter melon stir fry, or even a somen noodle stir fry.
Thank you so much, Sherry. There's so much going on. You got to get to the Okinawan Festival. It's happening on this weekend, the 30th and the 31st. Get your tickets right now. We're going to be right back on Hi Now Daily because we have more food coming your way. We got andagi. We're going to go straight up to the kitchen. But we'll be right back after this break.
How's it, aloha gang? Welcome back to High Now Daily. We're back here live at Revolution Smart Home, hanging out with Eric Carlson. And you know, today so much of the conversation has been about what's happening in the solar industry. Now, Eric, we were talking earlier, the federal tax credit goes away at the end of the year, but we still got the state, right? So still a lot of incentives.
Yeah, I mean, solar's not going away. So like you mentioned, we have the state tax credit, 35%. Power isn't getting cheaper. Last time I checked, it's not going down. It's going to continue to go up. Not only that, we have the Hawaiian Electric has the bring your own device policy, where they actually pay upfront rebate for batteries. So it's $2,000 per battery, or $4,000 per battery if you're in an LMI household. So there's a lot of really good incentives to continue to go solar. On top of the rebates and the tax credits, who doesn't want battery backup?
Yeah.
We get hurricanes, we get severe weather, we have power shutoffs. So yeah, I mean, you want to invest in your home, be resilient, continue to have lower cost of energy.
Absolutely. We're actually going to work our way over here, Eric, because as you continue to talk about the future, these are some of the options that are available, and they're getting more and more popular, right?
Yeah. So this is one of our two offerings of batteries that we put with every single system. And yeah, on average, a typical homeowner will have about 2 of these for every installation we do.
Gotcha. From an installation processing wise, how long does the install take?
Well,
or does it vary on
Yeah,
things?
if you read the newspaper, there's been a lot of talk about permitting. So there are a number of different hands that play a part in the execution of a full system. The installation side, where it's just the Revolution guys, we're in and out in a day, maybe 2. But overall, it could take from 3 to 8 months to get your system fully installed. When you go through the permitting, when we talk to the inspectors, we talk with Hawaiian Electric, which we do all that coordination for our homeowners.
Gotcha. Now, this is one of 2 you said. This is the other one you guys are able to do.
That's
as well.
another one.
Bring the camera over here. This is Franklin.
This is a Franklin battery. Some people wanted an alternative to the Tesla batteries. And you know, we're all about options. We are agnostic, and we like people to have as many choices as possible.
Okay, so what do you recommend for people to do currently as we sit now, a couple of months before the end of the year? Again, Revolution is booked up to head into 2026. But what do you recommend?
Yeah, you know, you got to do what's right for you. Every family's different. You know, again, what we're stressing is, these are a big investment in your home. It's something that is going to be working for 20 plus years. And so you want to ensure you're going with a company that's going to be around to honor that warranty, to continue to take care of that product that you've installed, and then maybe add new services as new future technology comes out. So for us, we're telling people, we've been around the block a lot, we've seen these dips in the market, we've seen what can happen. You know, we say place your safe bet in one of the local companies that do have a lot of longevity.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for having us here
pleasure.
today. Again, very important conversations to have, and all of this will be posted at highnowdaily.com as well. Natalie, we'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Kainoa. The Shidler's College of Business is celebrating 76 years of international excellence. Their School of Travel Industry Management, or TIM, is shaping the next generation of leaders who are embracing sustainability and stewardship within the visitor economy. And joining us is Zhao Dan Mountclar, an assistant professor of the TIM School, and Amanda Ajari, a diversified agriculture coordinator with Kualoa Ranch. And she's also alumni of the TIM School, correct?
Yes.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Zhao Dan, I
you.
want to start out with you.
Sure.
TIM, this is such a unique school, so let's talk about that.
So TIM is one of the top hospitality and tourism programs in the world, really. We are ranked number 15 nationally among hundreds of hospitality and tourism programs.
Wow.
And we're ranked 32nd among internationally among all the programs in the world.
I love it. And it's not just about the travel industry, because you guys focus on sustainability, right? That's what makes you unique.
Absolutely. So Hawaii, as you know, we're a group of isolated landmass, and that makes us have infinite resources, endemic species, and So it makes an ideal laboratory for Tim students to study sustainability, hospitality, and tourism. What makes us unique is we can look to the traditional native Hawaiian sustainability study, sustainability land management, which is a mix of biodiversity, land management, as well as ecosystem restoration. And we integrate the sense of Kuleana and Malama into our curriculum along factors of social factors, economic factors, and sustainability factors into our curriculum. TIM is not only just a place to study. We are a launch pad for the future of tourism hospitality industry, we empower our students to have the tools to innovate, pioneer, and thrive in one of the most exciting industries in the world.
That's right. What a powerful curriculum to kind of really harness, harbor, and educate a lot of the future leaders, which we have right here in our chair also, right? Amanda, so let's talk about that experience of being in TIM and how it shaped you today in your current career position.
Yeah, so in TIM, I took one class called TIM 420, and it was our sustainability class, and I got to learn about agritourism and regenerative tourism. And within that, it kind of sparked a new interest within the tourism management sector that I was going to go into, and learning more about how to take care of the land first before we go in and be able to share it with others.
It directly aligned from a classroom to kind of your workforce, right? Because at Kuloa Ranch, we all know, but for those who are not familiar, like, let's talk about Kuloa Ranch. It's because it's a tourism focused on sustainability and preserving the land and the experience too, right?
Yeah, so at Kuloa Ranch, we work on creating a sustainable front of social factors, sustainability within environment, and everything that encompasses around agriculture and stewardship, conservation. And I got a little bit of a chance to intern there before.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah,
with the cacao pods?
Yes, we were selecting cacao pods to plant new trees.
I mean, there's definitely a lot growing within the industry, especially at Kuloa Ranch, because it's 175 years of that excellence in addition, right?
Yes.
So for those who may be watching and we're thinking about the travel industry and sustainability is really important to them, do you have any words of advice entering the space?
Yes, I believe that when you go into the TIM schools, for one thing, is learning that agriculture and tourism here in Hawaii coexist together. Just because everyone comes to Hawaii for food, but then also knowing how to cultivate in the land and giving back to the land and understanding what space we're taking up, and then being able to share it with others that are coming to visit.
That's beautiful. And Xiaodan, I want to quickly talk about that free lecture that's coming up October 29th, because that's a perfect place to kind of get a jump start, right?
Absolutely. So it's a Lane lecture, and it's going to take place in Kahala Hotel October 29th. We have a panel of experts. So actually have Jeff Morgan from Kualoa Ranch.
Oh, very cool.
We have Jerry Krustev, one of my colleagues at TIM, as well as one of the alumni, Taylor Ledgerwood from Kahala Hotel.
Very cool. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that information. And those who are watching, you could find all that information at shiler.hawaii.edu/TIM. We're going to be right back. You're watching Haina Daily. All that's
All the way up to the 3C framing. Yeah, there you go. 3, 2, 1, action.
We are downtown at the Domino's storefront, and we just wrapped up an amazing music video / commercial with the legendary Sean Na'oao over here. Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Thank you so much for giving me that backstage pass. Now, I have to ask you, you have a special tie to Domino's.
Well,
What was that like?
Yes, I do. You know, Domino's was actually my first and only job I've held. You know, this is back in the day, of course. And I was a driver as well as a manager at the Pearl City location. Yeah, Domino's. But I just love Domino's pizza. Love it.
Not only is the pizza amazing though, but what I've noticed is the people are amazing. And you were talking to me, you know, just about kind of going through the process of really growing up at Domino's. What was that like?
Well, I mean, you know, there were a lot of mentors, of course, you know, the people who are like managers above us, and we would learn from them. Also, you know, drivers as well, you know, just getting on the roads for the first time, you know, they would always have to have another driver with you to show you what their do's and don'ts. But it was so much fun. I mean, in high school, driving around, dropping off pizzas, getting good tips.
And it was your one and only job, because what happened after that?
Well, after that, I was a co-founder of a group called the Manao Company. Yeah.
And from there, things just...
Yeah, you know, we're so blessed and fortunate. We were a part of that whole craze that everybody called Hawaiian back in the day. So it was groups like myself with Manao Company, Kapena, groups like Hawaii Con, you know, all
the greatest people that are here in Hawaii, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so one of the fun things about creating this new commercial is that you changed the lyrics to your song.
Yes.
Can you talk about which song you did? How did you work on changing the words?
Well, you know, we decided, and it was a collaboration that we all decided on, Surf Paina. And changing the words, it was so easy, because on paper you can, you know, because that was my one and only job.
Easy for you.
Exactly. So I knew what was, okay, let's just write. But then when I got into the studio to actually sing those lyrics, it was a little difficult for me, because singing it, you know, how I wrote it for 30 plus years and changing all the words. So it was a little difficult, but it was fun.
And the words, do they just like come back, you like the old lyrics?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like swapping them.
Yeah, I know, like,
forth?
oh wait, no, this is the old lyrics. I gotta put new lyrics in. So yeah, it was good.
But you're a pro, and seeing you do your magic behind the screen, I was like, this is gonna be amazing. I'm so excited for everybody to see it.
Oh, I'm excited too.
Now, the last thing I have to ask you is, I heard that you're dropping an album soon. Can you give us a little teaser? Like, what's it gonna be like?
Well, this one is gonna be, it's gonna be a fun CD for me. We're gonna go back to playing reggae music again.
Okay.
And with this new reggae album, I'm trying to incorporate all Hawaiian language with this new reggae album. You know, the younger generation, they have a lot of, you know, maolis and, you know, but nobody's really doing the Hawaiian language with reggae. So that's something that I'm gonna try and see if I can do and release it in November.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Where can people follow you and, you know, get the drop information, all that stuff?
Well, you can, you know, online. I'm on social media and, you know, all the social media platforms.
Of course.
So just look up Sean Na'oao and yeah, hopefully we can link up somehow.
Yes, oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll all stay tuned for that amazing album drop. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing shoot.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys check it out. Domino's, they're the absolute best. Get ready for the best deal ever.
Number one.
Perfect. Love it. Good.
Aloha. Welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Food is one of the tastiest ways to experience culture. And at the upcoming 43rd Annual Okinawan Festival, every bite tells a story. And we have a couple of their volunteers, Ryan Hunt, Natalie, and Kelly Teruya in here because we're making food already for this weekend. This is practice right now. Welcome in.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so what we're making here in front of us is andagi, yeah? So how do you describe andagi?
Malasada without sugar.
Ah, okay. So in its connection with the Okinawan history, how far does it trace back?
Oh, that's a hard question. I personally, so my Portuguese side, we say the Portuguese probably influenced the Japanese and the Okinawans to make andagi, but at least...
Yeah, it's a mix, yeah?
At least about 100, 125 years from when our ancestors first came here.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I want to talk about that. HUO8, so you guys are members, you're volunteers. Which chapter are you part of? What club?
Wahiwa Okinawa Kyoyukai and Ozato Doshikai.
I love it. Natalie, which one?
I'm part of Otaku Azajin Club, and Kelly is too.
So we want to talk about this. You guys aren't sisters, but you just found out you're related thanks to being a part of the clubs, right?
Yeah. So we have the same last name, but there's a lot of people that aren't actually related, but we found out we actually are related. So
That's
cousins.
cool. I mean, that
somewhere.
kind of shows the impact of also having, the Okinawan Festival is that it brings together a lot of people, whatever background you have, a percentage of Okinawa. You may find a family member with a similar last name and you just trace it back to one uncle, auntie. We're like, we're related.
Yeah. So we're from the same village in Okinawa.
That's so cool. Okay, so we're talking about the batter here, and then Kelly over there we saw her in the beginning, that's how you place it into the hot oil, like through that little
So you call it dropping.
Dropping. So how many andagi do you expect to make at the festival this weekend?
So festival over Saturday and Sunday, we'll be making 250,000 andagi.
Oh!
Yeah.
Say it again, 250,000. Okay, so basically we're gonna have to limit our eating because some of this is gonna have to go this weekend, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it fresh there. But yeah, I wanna talk about the festival. How many years have you guys been?
I'm 48 years old and I've been going since I was 3 from McCoy Pavilion.
No way, okay.
Picking up rubbish at Thomas Square,
They have a code there right on the screen. Make sure you scan it. I know we've been talking about it all episode today, but you're gonna wanna go to this weekend. You can find Ryan, Natalie, and Kelly here making that andagi. So I just wanna talk about what else is happening at the festival. We have the food, we have the shopping, we have kind of the dance experiences too, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be all kinds of dances from clubs in Okinawa, clubs from local places like dancing, singing, performing drums, taiko, pranku, everything like that. There's also food demonstrations.
Oh, very cool.
So if this is what floats your boat, then you can go and find out more about how to make the andagi. And they're doing also yakisoba, this seaweed thing that I just learned about today that's called muzuku.
Okay, so come hungry, right?
Pig feet soup, champuro, yeah.
I love it. Make sure you come this weekend. It's going to be both Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be early at 9 a.m., but pretty much come 10 a.m. Come hungry. Come with the whole ohana, whether you're 3-year-old or how old?
48.
48.
Or 100.
We have so much
100
more
plus.
coming up on Hi Now Daily this week. We're going to be back soon talking about more of the Okinawan Festival. But I'm going to hand this to you. Thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you get your tickets. They're on sale right now, the 43rd Annual Okinawan Festival. So we're cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I like it. Oh.